Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Dude here, and today we're back with another video on my YouTube channel. This time we're going to be doing a setup for the McLaren F1 GTR. Now, I did a setup for this video a long time ago when this car first came out on the Apex Motorsports YouTube, but I have updated it much more since then, and I could say now, being more experienced with this game, it is a far better setup in this video than it would have been back then. So I really hope you guys do enjoy this video. The McLaren F1 is a fantastic car given the right circumstances, and I'm going to talk about that here in a second. If you do happen to enjoy the video and or the setup, be sure to subscribe and leave a like and a comment. It does greatly help me out a lot, and I really do appreciate it. Turns out 79% of the people who watch this video are currently not subscribed, so of course if you can do that, I would greatly appreciate it once again. So the McLaren F1 is honestly like a straight line monster, probably the fastest straight line car in the game in practice. The Peugeot VGT has a slightly higher top speed, but it doesn't accelerate as well as the McLaren F1, so I like to think that this car overall is the fastest in a straight line. Now, its underlying issue is obviously cornering. It understeers a lot in pretty much every kind of corner except for low-speed corners. Anything where there's downforce involved, this car tends to plow a little bit, or a lot of it, really, to be honest with you. So this setup is honestly kind of more like an FR setup that I would use rather than an MR setup. Just because of the way the car handles. But if you can get it to go around the corners that it needs to go around on the straights, you will blow everyone out of the water. So if that's the type of car that you need for the certain track that you're driving on, I highly recommend using this car and pulling it out in those sorts of high-speed situations. Without further ado though, let's get into the setup. So here we are on the McLaren F1 setup. Like I said, it's set up a lot like a front-engine car. It tends to have those characteristics that a front-engine car has with the understeer, especially at high speed. So that setup reflects this substantially. The ride height in the front actually is all the way down. If you find the car to be a little bit unstable, I'd recommend moving that up a bit. For the most part, you really don't need to. I feel like this car is pretty well balanced with this setup on. The transmission, once again, is pretty self-explanatory as well. So obviously if you want to make the top speed a little bit higher for tracks with longer straights, move the final gear to the left and then move the final gear to the right. If you want to make the top speed shorter for tracks with shorter straights. Yeah, other than that, that's the setup for the McLaren F1. Tracks that I recommend for this car would be maybe Monza. The Tokyo tracks with long straights are extremely good as well. Really anything with large straights, this car can be extremely dominant at. Even a track like Seaside, this car is slept on, especially with this setup on it. So give it a try and see how you feel about it. So our reference lap today is going to be at Tokyo East Inner Loop. So I hope you guys enjoy that. And without further ado, let's get started with that. So here we are in the McLaren F1 at Tokyo East Inner Loop. Now this is a track where this McLaren F1 can definitely show off its strengths. We're just at the rev limiter right here, but it will rev out a little bit, but you don't want to rev it too much. This thing has a lot of torque in the lower RPM as well. But down the straight, we are absolutely howling, especially for a car with full downforce. Right after the 150, slam on that brake. Get the car turned in. I was a little bit late here getting to the apex, but if you can almost diamond this a certain way, you can get a really good exit in second gear, which I felt I did. So all that exit speed you're going to carry down this little mini straight right here, which is quite substantial. Just a little bit of dab of the brake, just under half brake pressure, get the car turned in. Here, get back to the outside so you can set this up as well. Get as close to the wall as you can without hitting it. Good exit there. Now this can be taken full throttle. It's a little bit difficult in this car because of the understeer, but we get through that. And this one here is even harder. Just a little bit of a lift to the gas there. Coming up to the tunnel here, this corner is really difficult to get right, but you got to get really close to the wall and risk it for the biscuit. And thankfully we came out of there with pretty extreme speed. Down this last straight here, where this car once again can stretch its definitely stretch its legs out. Little bit of a wall tap, but coming into this corner here on the exit is super important. I don't even talk about the entry to that corner because the exit is just so much more important because it will carry you all the way down this massive straight. The McLaren F1 is honestly one of the best cars in the entire game at a track like this, maybe even the best. There's a few tracks where I feel like this is the strongest car, and I think the lap time here coming to the line is going to reflect that, and we get a 145.784. Yeah, anything that goes underneath the 146, that is absolutely incredible. and this car is definitely no different. So I really hope you guys enjoy this video. This is definitely a pretty popular car in the Group 3 category. Many people love it because it's nostalgic from some of the previous Gran Turismo titles. Unfortunately, it doesn't handle the way it used to, but you can definitely get it to handle a lot better and not compromise straight line speed, and I feel like this setup does a great job of that. So if you guys happen to enjoy the setup and or the video, once again, if you could leave a like and a comment and also subscribe, I would greatly appreciate that. Obviously, the YouTube algorithm is not always in my favor as a smaller YouTuber, so any support I can get, I'm gratefully thankful for. Now the McLaren F1 is in the books. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. I know I will. So yeah, it's been your boy Dude, guys, and I'm out. Peace.